Hey everyone, I'm Peter Cracknell. I'm joined with Mr. Henry Wildberry today at the Timber Cove Resort, which is in a beautiful location about 5 miles north of Jenner. And Henry and I have ridden all over this area, and we consider it to be really one of the most special riding areas anywhere in California. It has amazing climbs, dirt roads, all sorts of changing scenery, and you've got a lot less traffic here. So the reason why I'm on camera today is I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this new bike that I've purchased, which is the Specialized Creo. And just give you a little backdrop, I'm on Strava at Peter Cracknell. I've been cycling now for about 10 or 15 years. 1 year I clocked about 1.3 million feet and about 11,000 miles. So as you can see, it's really enjoy cycling. I got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer back in 2017, which was very obviously surprising, and been through surgery, lots of chemo. Anyway, fast forward nearly 3 years now. I bought this bike because I had a Trek Super Commuter before, which was amazing, and I was using that when I was on some very strong chemo, and that really sort of pulled me up the hills, but it didn't really sort of give me what I was looking for. I'm really into cycling, and I was looking for a bike that had the motor is integrated into the frame, because I wanted to keep the spirit of cycling for me alive. So this Specialized, when I saw it, this is the extra large version. It may even be the double XL, but as you can see, you've got a solution that I think is tremendous, with all the battery and the motor fully integrated into the bike. And here I bought an additional battery that gives me another 20-30 miles. The 3 different settings on the bike that you can see here. You have an on-off switch. I'll just turn it on, and it gives you the full range here, and then you have 3 settings. So this is the maximum setting. So to start with, on setting 1, I would probably be able to get about 100 miles on setting 1 if it was all flat roads. So if I was in the Midwest somewhere, I could use this and get 100 plus miles. Setting 2 is what I like to use most of the time. I can get up climbs, I'd say up to 10% incline on this setting 2. It's working quite hard, but still very comfortable. Probably my heart rate's about 120. And then setting 3, we're going to start our ride this morning going up Timber Cove, which is about a 2-mile climb, but it does get to about 18 to 20% at the top, and this really helps a lot. So the build quality of the bike is tremendous. It has the discs. I selected the cyclocross version. Ostensibly the frame is identical to the road. The only difference is that you have the seat dropper here, and then you have the chunky tires, which I really like, because when you go up these steep climbs, obviously you have to go down them, and going down Myers Grade at 45 miles an hour and twisty, it's really nice to have the wider, more stable tires and the disc brakes. So you've got 1x11. I just put the mountain bike pedals on, because this allows me to get in and out of the pedals easier. You have a seat dropper on this bike that's really nice if you're going down a fast descent, and you've got the very comfortable handlebars with the oversized brake levers on this. So today we're going to be going up Timber Cove and then onto Seaview, and then going to drop down Myers, and I think I'm then going to come back and go up Fort Ross with Henry and Miss Cools. So anyway, yeah, I'm very fortunate. It's not a cheap bike. This was 6,500, but to me, this beats all the best medicine that any doctor can provide. You know, I get on this bike, I start pedaling, and all my challenges are, you know, way behind me. This brings me a lot of joy, and particularly cycling with great friends, it's, you know, it's perfect. So Henry, let's start the ride.
Let's do it. Not bad.
That. Well, look at those waves.
So Peter, how much does this bike weigh?
So this bike, well, this is the largest frame that they make. I think the XL, but with the extra support battery, I think it's around 32 pounds. You know, the Trek 85 Super Commuter, that was 45 pounds. So it's significantly lighter than my previous bike. It's got to be one of the lightest e-bikes out there, for sure.
And what's the maximum size tire you could fit on there?
I think a 38 on this DT Swiss disc brake wheel.
And that's a 700C.
Yeah.
Will a 650B wheel work on this
I'm
bike?
not sure. What do you think?
Possibly, yeah. How far can you go on a charge?
So to give you an example, I rode with a friend last Sunday from Larkspur, Marin. We did the Nicasio loop, which includes going through Alima and Point Reyes. The total distance was 41 miles, and I think 2,700 feet of climbing. And I got back from the ride with about 25% battery to spare. One day I'm going to try and do this ride and then go through Jenna, Cazadera and back up Fort Ross Road, which I think will be about 5,000 feet of climbing and probably about 40 miles. So it's really the climbing part that reduces the distance. You know, when you see all these companies with claims you can do 80 miles, they're talking about on a flat road, which flat roads do not exist in Sonoma or Mendocino counties, so you have to take in a factor of a hill is going to probably burn the battery 4 times more than being on a flat. God, a bit warmer down here.
So, is there anything that you don't like about it or anything you would change?
Colour. Didn't have the patience to wait for the black one. Just wanted to get on it.
Yeah.
No, the colour's not my favourite. Not really. The one thing in the highest setting for the battery, you can get a little bit of a lag on the crank where it'll sort of jerk forward or backwards, but just tiny. Normally if you go on super steep climbs and then the battery will be trying to turn forward, so you have to really be cognizant of being as smooth on your cadence as possible. So that's bad. Otherwise it's perfect really. Through axles are great, and the thickness of that sort of helps compensate for the size of the bike, so it doesn't look silly big, you know.
Yeah, the down tube is sized
Yeah, I
proportionately.
highly recommend people consider this bike if they want to get out on Sonoma roads, you know.
Well, thank you very much, Peter, for taking the time and walking us through your bike. Really appreciate it.
Top of Fort Ross Road, that warmed us up perfectly.
Perfectly.
Okay.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your ride, and we'll see you.
Good to see you. See you out there.
See you soon.
Take care, Peter.
Bye.
Thanks again for that
Oh,
lovely
you're welcome.
gift.
Okay. See you later.
Okay, no drafting those cars on the way down.